You can. Mayuri's right there. She's the perfect place.
She's the perfect place. Mayuri.
Thank y'all for coming.
All right, we have mics.
Oh, yeah. They should know when she give me a mic. That's a terrible
Not at 10
idea.
a.m. Not
Kick us
good.
off.
All right, so thank you guys all for coming. I recognize a lot of the faces, some I don't, but I'm so excited. We are down a panelist today. She wasn't able to make it out, but we're still here, so we're excited. And we are going to talk about our, they're getting ready to live stream so other people can join us from home. Mayuri's being, yes, the potato.
And thank you for choosing us over opening ceremonies.
Yeah, seriously.
We're more fun anyway.
There's a lot of things going on right now. You guys came to us, so
Yes.
that's very exciting.
I don't know those witches.
Exactly. Is mine on?
Hello.
Oh, it is.
Is this thing on?
So the first thing we are going to do is let's introduce ourselves and how you started cosplaying and like your cosplay journey. So who would like to go first?
I can go. I'm Hannah. On Instagram, I'm Hannah W Cosplay. And I have been cosplaying since 2018. And Harry Potter was my gateway into cosplay. My cousin and her husband started cosplaying a long time ago, and I was going to meet up with them to go to Universal for Celebration of Harry Potter in 2018. And they're like, "We're going to wear costumes. You don't have to, but just so you know." And I'm like, I don't want to feel left out. I'll put a costume together. And then I met this incredible cosplay community and just fell in love with how much fun it is to dress up and have fun with your friends and find people that love the same characters as you because your dress is the same thing. And I've never looked back. And that's kind of how I got into cosplay. And I do Harry Potter and Disney and Doctor Who and Marvel, and I'm open to all the fandoms.
You do all things.
I do all things.
She's multi-fandom.
Can you also share your pronouns?
Oh, she, her pronouns.
Thank you.
Zack.
Wow, just ping pong.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let me get it over with. Because
Are you
I felt a little bit,
Okay.
I got like, my eyes
forgot
were going up while I
tissues.
was talking while
Oh, yes,
Hannah was
Ravenclaw
talking.
fail.
If you don't
I'm
know
very
Paula, she's a
emotional.
crier.
I'm a crier.
She cried at
so-
strangers yesterday.
My name is Paula. I'm a crier.
Hi, Paula.
My pronouns are she, her. And what happened? I feel like.
Okay. Thank you.
Cosplay. I don't really have like a cosplay. When did I
Well,
start? I think my first time was probably
Was it when we met, when you did
It was-
the letters?
the letters. Yeah. So what year was that? 2020? Right before the pandemic.
It was,
Yes.
yeah, because I was
So in
living here yet.
2020, it was my first cosplay was like pre-Wizard Harry, I like to call him, with letters. Like, so I had like a clear umbrella with these like acceptance letters hanging from it, and I was dressed as
And she didn't
Harry
know
Potter
how to
with
catch
like
them.
I couldn't catch him. With like Harry Potter glasses and La Peluca de Harry, which a lot of people here may know about. It's like a really horrible wig, but I love it so much because it's actually how I came into the like Harry Potter community was through this horrendous wig that I ordered a replacement for, and it was even worse. So I have to.
You've had a
But
wig
yeah,
journey.
I do. I purposely buy bad wigs. Like I look at stuff on Amazon and I'm like, this looks like it could be bad. So like my hobby, I don't collect pins, but I definitely buy bad wigs on purpose.
She's like the opposite of me. I'm a wig snob.
She's a wig snob, yeah.
I'm a
So
wig snob.
every time Hannah helps me with a wig, I'm like, hey Hannah, this is not like lace front. This is like $11.99 Amazon. And $11.99 is expensive.
I've had a lot of luck with Amazon wigs.
Yeah?
And
Oh, yeah,
everyone
me
be like,
too.
where did you get this? I'm like, Amazon.
Amazon.
Like, and maybe it's the wigs that I select or whatever,
Yeah.
and I just read the reviews and I see the pictures that they
Yeah.
post.
you
All of mine are from
see-
Amazon, but I love a lace front wig.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Last year, I bought a wig to do Dedrick. and it looked like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I was like, this has got to go back. This is bad, but not the kind of bad that I want. So I sent it right back.
Funny bad.
It was huge, and like it was very orange, and like very like the front was very like floopy. I don't know, like
It was like the swoop.
I'll have to
Yeah.
send you on TikTok. There's a lady who is a makeup artist, and she does like, she'll show you tips and tricks for makeup, but she'll show you wig stuff, and she'll go, I bought this at Party City, and we're gonna make it look like this to this, and then transition, and she shows how to do it. And she's really good with it, and has taught me some things, like when I did Rumple, Silkskin, I had this like bouffant hairstyle that was 1950s with big ringlets. I was like, how do I take this out? And so Justin, my boyfriend, and I, like, I didn't have a flat iron, so we're taking the iron to it and doing all things to it. But we're taking her tips from it, so I'll have to share that with you. Yeah. I'll have to find her, but she's great.
Yeah, send me that link and we'll get that all posted.
And Zach, do you want to introduce yourself?
yeah. Sorry,
I just
took
like,
over.
well,
My bad.
what's your pronouns, Paula?
I did say
She did?
she, her. It was like the first thing I said.
Okay, it was good.
But she didn't say her socials.
I just
Oh, I'm unconceivable on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch.
yeah, she's a gamer.
I'm a gamer now.
Yeah,
I'm also a hobbit. I don't know what that means, but this is it.
this is it.
She's never seen Lord of the Rings.
I have never seen Lord
It's
of the
going to be its own podcast episode.
Yes.
We're so
Rings.
excited.
Never seen it, so.
In 3 podcast episodes, you can do the first movie, the second movie,
all
and
three.
the third
All
one.
three.
We're going to do a pre of what
I
she
think. All I
knows
know is,
about
like,
Lord of the Rings.
Potatoes and a second breakfast and 11
that's really all
seeds.
you need.
That's all you really
Yeah,
need to know.
that's all I got.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Zachary, and I go by he, him. And I started doing cosplay costuming forever. Like, I'm not an expert or anything on any of it, but I just like it because I love Halloween. And I would say probably that was my gateway to cosplaying and doing creative things. My favorite thing about doing cosplay is just taking something that's you would never expect and just changing it. I think my earliest one is my mom and I making a Darkwing Duck costume, and she made, she took, I think I probably did it from her, she took a Mardi Gras mask that was like a bird mask that was white feathers. She chopped like the beak to make it shorter, like a duck bill, and that was my mask, and then I wore like a Zorro mask on top of it, and then she took a witch's hat and sprayed it purple to make it like that. And then she just took like a sweater, like a long sleeve sweater, and made buttons on the front of it, and I wore white shorts. Bam! When I wore it to like kindergarten class or whatever, I remember specifically people were like, oh my gosh, where's Goslin? Where's Launchpad?
But is that not the best feeling when
Yeah.
people recognize what you're cosplaying as?
And
Like,
the weirder
best
you do
feeling.
your cosplay, even the better.
The better.
That people get excited for
People
the
really
weirdness.
love Dead
And-
Cedric.
Dead Cedric
It
is
was like such a hit. I'm alive all weekend, I'm sorry. But
She inside them.
inside I'm dead, but
And my Instagram handles, I go by Walt's Apprentice, like Walt Disney Apprentice. And then my main one that I also run, and you'll see it on the back of my cloak, is Gaze of Universal. So we'll also have a panel later on too, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And I am Dani. I am she, her. I hate microphones.
I know.
Hi, I run a podcast and I hate speaking in front of people. Paula did not say this part, but she is my co-host of Creating Magic Podcast.
yes,
She's waiting for you to do it.
I was waiting for you.
Yeah.
I know.
She don't take the, you know.
I want to steal your thunder.
So we are gonna. Hey. So we are gonna release this on there. I'm Mandrakes and Mischief on Instagram and Twitch because we're gamers now, and Creating Magic Podcast on Instagram,
And TikTok.
TikTok, yes, and Threads, but that's more her thing.
I love Threads. Anybody on Threads?
No.
You guys still on?
Y'all need to
Are you
follow her on
X?
Threads. It's great. All you need is to do is follow Paula. You don't need anyone else.
X
The only
adult.
person that can convince me to do something like that is Paula.
Yeah. So my cosplay journey, I started as like bounding light. Like my background is very backstage theater, so I don't like being out in the front of people. So I did a lot of like bounding with characters I liked and last year I was going through some stuff and I just needed to focus on something, and so I did my first I had my Green Arrow was my first real cosplay, and then last year I was just like I needed something to drive into, and that's the first time I did a full cosplay. I entered a contest.
And she got second.
So, most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done, but I will say that experience changed my confidence level, and you've even said that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Is
a
that
very...
before or after you did the book dress?
That is the book dress.
Oh, the book dress. I think it was
So,
an arrow, sorry.
yeah, my cosplay last year, I'm sorry, I apologize. I tore apart a book, an actual book, and made a dress out of it.
You upcycled.
Yes,
Yeah.
you upcycled.
It was a
exactly.
previously loved book, so
Yes,
Yeah.
a well-loved
Literally,
book.
that's how, whenever I describe you, Justin goes, the one with the book
The book dress, yeah.
And he goes, yeah, and that one. That was his absolute favorite thing when he came to Leakycon last year.
Oh, I like being someone's favorite.
You're lots of people's favorite.
Yeah, so like for me that was like a journey that I kind of needed, and it was one of those moments because like there had been like some technology issues because the building was like a dead zone, so I didn't realize it till the last minute, so I hadn't told anyone that I ended up getting into it, and I got there and all my friends showed up for me, and the confidence boost, and even like if you listen to the podcast pre-last Leakycon to now, it's a very different voice from me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I would agree.
So, and like
It's an
even,
actual voice.
and
Because I let her talk.
and with like just the four of us up here, we have bounders, we have cosplayers, we have people who create their own cosplays who do mix and matches of things. So like, you don't have to be the person building the thing and sewing the thing.
I didn't sew this, my mom did.
You might have a great mother. Also, Madi has a great mother.
You might have a thing called Amazon.
Yeah.
Like
You might like thrifting.
And it doesn't have to be like super expensive.
no.
It could be thrifted, or you could. There's people who like fully like hire people to.
Yeah.
You can
make them.
commission, and there's
Like,
nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing
No.
wrong.
Cosplay is for everyone, and the other thing is, you do not have to look like your character.
Exactly.
Bailey does not look like a cake on a normal.
Look at
She's like,
I'm sorry. Look at Bailey. You got
don't
to
have to
see
look
Bailey
like-
back
can't
there.
even sit down. That is the commitment to cosplay that I love so much.
She couldn't fit in her car.
She could. She had to come in an
car
Uber.
this morning, guys. That's commitment.
Yeah. So like,
Commitment.
don't feel.
It's Doug Whitmore. Doug Whitmore, everybody.
Like, no matter what you do, everyone is going to be supportive, and
Absolutely.
don't feel bad if someone doesn't recognize your cosplay. You just haven't found the right people yet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I think for me, how I found, I being a Leo, I've always been a bit confident, but I was not confident
Gryffindor.
in my nerdom. Like I was very, something that I kept to myself. I worked in an industry in my 20s that was very stifling, and I was not allowed to kind of be anything outside of this very secure bubble. So I've always been this nerd, but it was very much internalized, and I didn't feel like it was okay to be as into Harry Potter as I was. It was something I kept very private, or into the nerd things that I have always loved. But when I found cosplay, I was like, wait,
These
this
are
is
my
a community
people.
where I can be as weird as I want to be, and people are gonna love me for it. And that's why I love to do like mashup cosplays, because I like to like mix things together and be creative, and it's a way I've really found myself. And I was 30 when I started cosplaying, and some people talk about like, oh, cosplay is a young person's game. No, it's not. I will be
I'm 46.
I will be cosplaying until I die. And
Yes.
She's gonna die in cosplay.
I'll probably die in cosplay. It's fine.
Probably has an overheated wig.
I'll probably die of a heat stroke at Dragon Con when I'm like 80. It's fine, and I will love that journey for me. But so confidence can be whether you feel comfortable in your own skin or confident in your fandom, in your nerdom, and in your life. And it helped me find my true authentic self. And And I've taught myself how to sew, and oh god, I'm turning into Paula. I'm gonna
Oh my
cry.
God.
Because of Kayleen.
Kayleen is over there
crying in the
crying.
front row, and I saw her cry.
I know, that was a good idea. Hobbits don't wear sunglasses,
Like,
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your journey is not going to be everyone
Everybody's
else's.
different.
You don't have to commit to the full thing. Start with one of the cosplays that I bound a lot because I go to Disney. I go as Roxanne to Disney. It is a t-shirt from my closet and some jean shorts, y'all. But when I walk in, people are like, "You're Roxanne," because Goofy movie is getting some love this year, and it's
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, like at D23 this past, like last year, my boyfriend did full on like Powerline. And I was like, there's not like really a character and I don't want to do Goofy. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do Bobby. That's great, you know? It's a white shirt, red shorts, a necklace, and then I already had a red wig that I probably did for, it was like an anime type red wig I did for something else, and I was like, you know what, he teased it where it like went all the way, like Ariel swoop tease, like it had a cool side thing, and then I just wore these sunglasses, and I made out of foam the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Didn't think I was gonna get any attention. Powerline is more notable, and I was there to support him. I got more attention than it happens, you know, it's that, you know, the
Look,
energy,
you
but
can't dull your sparkle.
exactly, you can't dull your cheese, no matter how cheesy it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would have people like yelling across the con going, "Bobby, you got the Leaning Tower of And then it was the reverse when we did MegaCon. He did Little Shop of Horrors, the puppet, and I was like full-fledged Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time, makeup all teeth, gross, everything, like pleather vest, and he has this awesome puppet. No one knew who I was because it's not 2010 anymore. And
I would have known.
and there was a few people, and then when I went to the panel, the best recognition was Lana.
Oh, yes.
Recognized me and she's like, "Rumpel," and you know I did the whole
That was
bow
the
thing.
validation.
That was the only validation I needed, but Justin got so much attention with his puppet, and it was of course a Saturday, one of the busiest days of the con, and you can't get through the crowds. And I was like, I just want to get to our next thing. I do not want to take another picture for him. Even when we're walking out to the car, my feet are tired, it's the end of the day, he's getting stopped by people in the parking lot. I was like, can we just get to the car?
Yes, but if it would have been you being stopped, you would have felt differently.
I know, that's why I couldn't verbalize this to him. I kept it all internally. It's very difficult as another Leo.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but also always support your friends.
Always support your
Yes.
friends. I think one of the best advice someone gave me when I was starting to cosplay, don't compare your day 1 to their day 500. Like in their cosplay journey, like don't compare what they're able to do with their skills 4 years into cosplay on your day 1. And as someone who's taught herself how to sew, and I would compare my stuff to these incredible seamstresses and be like, but my seams don't line up. And I'm like, that's fine. Also, no one's gonna look at your seams.
Yeah.
That's all in your own head. And
My
they've
mother
been
would
sewing for a
absolutely look at
decade, and you've been
seams.
sewing for 2 years. So
And if you're that close looking at your seams,
you better have bought me a drink first.
exactly. But also, if that's what they're doing, then maybe
Then they're
that's
maybe
not
not.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like also on that, don't compare your day 1 to another person's day 1 even.
Yeah.
Because like I know how to sew because my mom taught me when I was 10.
Yeah.
So people who are starting out, like I had a friend, she's like, oh, I feel like I'm such an imposter because you have these things that you make and build together and I just thrift mine. I'm like, I just happen to have this skill because of my mother. Like, it doesn't make anything better. It's just I have a skill I can use and I hate shopping.
Yeah.
Like, and people, more power to thrifting people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you can go and like search through things. If I can't go find the right color, right size, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. For a tip for that, if you are thrifting for like cosplays, like I do a lot of Doctor Who, so that's like modern stuff. You're not gonna be able to sew that. And I've been on the varying side of sizes. So a lot of times thrifting in stores is hard when you're plus size. So Poshmark and Macari are gonna be your best friend. Also, you can save it and come back to it and think about it later, and you can search specific brands if you're looking for a screen accurate piece. So like online thrifting takes a lot of the like I hate going to the thrift store and digging through stuff, but I love to shop online. So that's another good tip for the thrifting,
I
for the
love thrifting
non-thrifters.
because that's the majority of the time where my boyfriend and I get our cosplay ideas from. And sometimes in the process of looking for something for a specific character, that character gets thrown out and we go,
Find something
this
new.
is what we're going to do instead. This is amazing or something different. And we he found this beautiful, and I don't know the actual pronunciation for that type of garb, but it was one of those beaded Indian type long
saris?
Saris. Thank you. That's right.
Mary's got us.
Thank you. He took it, edited it, cut it down the middle, and made it into a pirate cloak. And it was the coolest cloak with all this beading detail and everything. And he put shoulder pads with it, and it was just so cool. And he goes, this is better than the ones that I already have, when I've gone to weddings and everything, or that I've gotten in New York. And when we went on the Disney Cruise Line and stuff, everyone thought he was a character. And
That's awesome.
so
That's high
those are
compliments.
some and it was $12. Sometimes you find the coolest things. I last Leakycon, I wore this, but because I was promoting the gays of Universal, I found a wooden suitcase that was curved arch, and Universal was selling at one of their garage sales all their old stickers of that used to be on their trash cans that were patches of the different lands of Islands of Adventure. So I put them all in the suitcase to give that
How cute.
but the suitcase was $2.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take my shoe off. I wanted flats to glue into my Hobbit feet, but I didn't want to ruin good shoes. So I got these for $5 on Poshmark, nude flats, because I was gonna glue them to a pair of Hobbit feet. You don't want to spend a lot of money when you're gonna E6000 something weird to them. There's also hair on the Hobbit feet. I glued that from my wig.
Yeah.
All the hair that when you're
It's all
brushing
about
it
the
out.
Yeah.
But back to what Dani was saying about not having to look like your character. I know that a lot of times, at least, it's happening.
If you need me to cut you off, I'll talk
At least for plus size people, that seems to be the thing that stops them from doing it, and I don't think it should, because at the end of the day, you're plus size in cosplay or not. This is who you are, and you should just, if it makes you happy, do it.
And to add to this, I knew.
Please talk.
Yes, I knew that Paula was going to talk about this as that topic because I have the same thing. I have yo-yo different sizes, but in the end of the day, like Rumple, he's a skinny little elf thing.
Yeah.
And so I was really worried that I was going to look this way, but once it all comes together, trust the process while you're doing it too. I was like, wow, I really do look like the character. But also, you don't always have to look like the character. You have to embody the character.
Yes.
Think of half the actors in Hollywood that perform as a character. He doesn't look anything like the books, or doesn't look anything like the comic books. And you're but then you see them.
Bear.
And then they embody.
Fozzie Bear. Okay, Fozzie Bear is a critic. He's actually on his keyboard at home.
Yeah.
But anyway, they criticize these performers and they say it, but then they get there and you see them in the movie and you fall in love with how they do it.
The way they portray the character.
How they portray the character. So if you have that energy level and you show it, that's all that matters. Because I was gonna bring up your Luna Lovegood.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not a 12-year-old girl.
I am not a 12-year-old girl.
But when you are in the park dressed as Luna Lovegood and you do your content and all your fun things, you are giving that free spirit of Luna Lovegood. So when you see it, you do it. One of my favorite, Instagram people, and he's on TikTok and everything, he's a gay man that has a very big mustache, but he always puts on different wigs and he lip syncs to
I love him.
That's it. I was trying to think of the name earlier. Julian Cookies.
But he has this mustache and he does it with everything.
He
just
did
does
a
anything.
Twilight thing and he's trying to imitate
He's
the
hysterical.
beautiful acting of Bella. And if you haven't seen it, it's kind of similar to a constipation look.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh no, Edward. He did it on the screen, and that was my comment on his reply. I'm like, you portrayed the constipation perfectly, and you were excellent. But some of the other comments, people say, it's almost like the mustache just disappears. And it is because of how he portrays that character. And it's just a man in a wig.
Yeah, and he does like all the parts. Like he does like an entire scene.
But at the end of the day, it's literally called costume play.
Yeah.
We are dressing up as fictional characters. Don't take it so seriously.
Yeah.
Like it is literally meant to be fun and wonderful and
for the introverts out there, don't feel like you have to act like the person you are dressed up as. You can just be you in that costume. Tomorrow I'm being Wednesday. For one, I love Wednesday. I'm so excited not to have to smile in pictures. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like so excited to be Wednesday. I'm like, I don't have to smile. I can just mean mug everyone all day.
that's how I feel about Professor Umbridge when I cosplay her. I just get to walk around judging people, and that's appropriate.
That's me every day.
And like some cosplayers get into full character.
Yeah.
Like we know a few like Gilderoys and they stay in character.
Yeah.
And like for me it's just not for me.
Yeah,
It freaks me
The
out.
moment I put a wig on, I change. I just do. And I have a friend who's known me for like a decade, and she came to Leakycon last year because she's also a big Harry Potter fan, but she'd never been to a convention before or been around me when I'm cosplaying. And she's like, you have a whole different energy in cosplay. I'm like, it's the wig. I
It's
swear.
the wig. It is the wig.
It is the wig. Like, it just gives me this like level of confidence. The moment I put the wig on, it just all like comes together and changes for me.
And I wanted to add on to like what we were talking about with whether you're the right age, the right body shape, the right gender, or the right everything. There is no right way to cosplay.
No.
One of the things I am trying to break my boyfriend out of doing is he only cosplays brown characters, and he does Aladdin. He does Miles Morales. He does other characters. So I'm like, you can do other characters. Like, you don't have to be Prince Naveen. I mean, I think he's better than Prince Naveen, but that's a whole other story, a whole other panel. But
Might be a different con.
you don't have, it might be a different con. Gay days at Disney. But anyway, you don't have to be that same look that's in that movie, that comic book, anything. Because if you love that character, then do it. And there's a lot of times where I do female characters, but I'm not in drag. Sometimes I am. I did Lady Orlena, I did full old lady face, but I had the swag of Lady Orlena, and I had the mean glasses, and I had a fan that said crows before hoes. If you don't know who Lady Orlena is, it's Game of Thrones, and you've probably seen the memes where she's like, tell Cersei
it was me. I want her to know.
Yeah. I got
Iconic.
stopped so many times at MegaCon. Of course, it was also the last day of Game of Thrones, that I needed to like take the veil and put it over my face just so I could get some privacy. And I'm a man in a dress.
Yeah.
On
Working.
that, I want to add that like we are talking about the positives we have. There are people out there that are going to criticize. My first cosplay was the Green Arrow because I love the Green Arrow. And I did it as a gender bend. It was a skirt, and when I was in line, the first comment I got, this first time going on, I went to the first con by myself. I decided to dress up. I felt really good about it. The first comment I got was a dude behind me, and he's like, "You do know there's a girl in that show?" And I just looked at him. I'm like, "Well, I don't like red." I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And also there are fandoms that have some toxicity. Star Wars has a lot of people in it that if it is not to the T-screen accurate, yes,
gatekeeping
we don't want
within that
gatekeeping.
cosplay community, and it's one, as much as I love Star Wars, it's why I've chosen not to cosplay in that fandom, because if it's not completely screen accurate, there's a lot of judgment, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here because I love whatever I'm dressing up as is something I love. Like, it's a character I love or a show I love, and it's supposed to be about the fun.
Yeah.
So
I do cosplay Star Wars, but I go into it knowing that I might get I cosplay Rey, which is not everyone's favorite character, so there's already that. But I know that some people aren't gonna like it, and they're gonna make comments, and you just gotta let it go.
And if you
That's
post-
their problem. That is not
If you post it
you.
on the internet, you're occasionally going to get some nasty comments.
What other people think about you is none
And
of
it
your
doesn't
business.
matter. And honestly,
matter.
the way that my friends have come to my defense when I've had comments about being too fat to be a character, I get more joy from seeing my friends lift me up from that comment than the negativity from the person that was trying to make me feel bad. Because I have had a couple of comments about being too big to be a character. There's this one troll that thinks that no one should wear a wig ever, and he keeps getting deleted from Instagram and creating new accounts, and he like comments like, you should only cosplay characters that have your real hair color. Rude.
Why are you
No.
so obsessed with me?
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Now you're so obsessed with wigs.
So
Yeah.
like
Obsessed
that's
with wigs.
that person's problem.
Yeah.
It's not yours at all.
Yeah, and if you don't know where to start, message us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us are very open. We have had so many
I'm
chats.
far from expert. I
I've
tell
done
you,
many
just
times.
just rock whatever you want.
The hardest
I don't-
part for me is choosing who I want to be.
Yeah.
Or how you're gonna do it.
I
Yeah.
love a good internet deep dive. I will help you find a
Pinterest.
piece
Pinterest
that
will-
you're looking for. Give me a reason
Yeah,
to
it
be on
doesn't,
the
and it doesn't have to
website.
be like screen accurate at
No,
all.
not
Like,
at all.
Madi last year was Teenage Professor Sprout.
we loved it. Yeah.
It was so fun.
I've done a punk Professor Umbridge and put fake cat tattoos all over my body. It was awesome.
That was like, I think that's how I found you.
Yeah.
In Boston, right?
Oh yeah, I was in
Yeah.
Boston.
That was amazing.
And like the gender thing, I love Loki, but I'm not the girl on the show. I am Loki. I'm a female Loki. I'm my own variant, and that's fine. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're Selkie." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I am Loki. Get it right."
Other than Luna, I love cosplaying male characters.
Yeah, you do.
I'm waiting for you to do Neville.
I know.
I know.
That's the one I've been
coming.
waiting
Maybe
I mean, you've
next
done
year.
it in videos.
I've done it in videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. With
Videos.
like clothes from like Hansel's,
Yeah.
like his
I will
vest
say,
and stuff.
I cosplay a lot. I don't post a lot. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah.
Like, and I have all this content on my phone, and I have so much respect for all the people that are able to like post more often. It stresses me out, and then I don't end up posting all the beautiful content
And you
I
don't
have.
have to
But that's
post.
fine too.
It's
you don't
for
have
you.
To post. You don't have to ever put your picture anywhere to cosplay. You don't have to. It's perfectly fine. I get all these photo shoots with professional photographers and then never post them anywhere. It's my own toxic trait.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I post more often than you guys, but still not as often as I used to.
Yeah.
Paula's in her Barbie era right
I
now.
am in my Barbie era. I am a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I am obsessed.
Energy of
I'm
Alan.
still trying to figure out if tonight I could go watch it again. I don't. In Chicago, like
Yeah.
go see it.
What number is
I
it
haven't.
now?
Huh?
What number will
it
it
would
be?
be 4.
It'll
Number
be 4?
Yeah.
I've only done it twice.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been so
What?
busy.
Let's open it up to the floor if anyone has questions.
Yeah.
Questions. Anybody?
Not everybody all at once.
Comments.
What is your favorite cosplay that you've done?
Okay, I'm gonna rephrase the question so that the mic picks it up. Madi has asked, what is our favorite cosplay that you have ever done?
Mine is probably Margot from The Magicians, which is a much more obscure show and not as like nobody recognized me, but it was a big undertaking of a build, and it turned out beautiful. And the actress liked my post on Instagram, and I like died. It was like the best thing ever. But because I just love that character so much, and it turned out really beautifully.
Probably my Green Arrow. I was so proud of it. The brick dress I liked, but that was made out of mental health necessity.
Yeah.
Whereas the Green Arrow, and then even my secret cosplay that will be seen on Sunday was a lot of fun to make. But I have a feeling that after tomorrow, I might love Wednesday because it's just so lax.
For me, it's probably my Half-Blood Prince, Luna Lovegood.
Oh, I love that.
I made like the leg warmers. I don't know, I feel good in it. I love it.
And we can tell.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I love that wig. I need a new wig, but I love Luna so much. Not as much as Neville, but I just love being Luna. I feel almost as free as her. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
And it
I don't have a
definitely
care in
shows.
the world. Yeah.
It's like trying to pick your favorite child, even though
Yeah.
I don't have children.
They tell you that you have a favorite child, but you do. You're just not allowed.
Tips from mother.
It's okay, I tell my mom all the time, I know she can't say
Hey,
it.
if you have one,
I
if you
know
only
I
have
have
one, then you don't have
favorite.
to.
I always do that when I call my mom and say, "This is your favorite son calling you. Just wanted to remind you, something, something,
Yeah.
something." My favorite cosplay, I think it's like always, like you always have one favorite, but then like you push yourself to do something else. I will say like, the more and more I go into like sewing, because about like maybe 4 years ago, my brother's wife was like, "So you don't have to hot glue everything. Here's a sewing machine."
And it's okay if you,
It's okay if you have
if that's your skill set, do it.
There's plenty of drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race that
They're
we're going to
hot
challenge by
glue.
hot gluing. So, but they went a little bit farther. My brother also looked into my HOA, does like classes, and there was this little sweet old lady that was teaching sewing classes. It was $35 for like 6 classes, and she gave me all the supplies. She's just like one of those nice old
wanted to do
ladies
something.
that
That's
she
who
just
you
wants
find to
other-
teach you to sew. If
Yes,
you wanna,
also,
and she taught me how to sew, and it's so funny though, like still to this day there's stuff that I still do as bad habits when I'm sewing, like I don't use the right thread color, and I just want to get it done and over with, and it's like white on black, and she's like, "You're supposed to use black on
Yeah.
it." So
gotta switch that bobbin.
but so the more
Oh, my
cosplay
mom,
that I
that's what my
do
mom's-
with the sewing
Yeah, the more.
is my Rumpelstiltskin, for the most part, is the most sewing that I've done. I made like, I couldn't find a blousey, like tan color, gold color shirt anywhere. It was the wrong kind of gold. It'd be too gold, or it would be too like 60s gold. And I was like, oh, I just need the right kind. So I bought fabric that matched it, and I took one of my regular shirts and I like, and then a vest is gonna go over it anyway, so
Yeah.
that's gonna hide it. And I made the armor for it out of pleather and everything. So I think maybe my most recent would be my Rumpelstiltskin, because of how much effort went into it, and then it came out how I wanted. But I mean, I did the same thing like when I did Winifred Sanderson's sister. I made the Hocus Pocus book. So for me, it's a lot of times it's my props. Mm-hmm. Like that's, I think, one of my key things that I love a cosplay. I'll make really good props, and then I'll base the cosplay around it.
We need to go hang out while you're doing that, because I really want to cosplay Dani from Hocus Pocus, because I think it's really funny, because it's my
Yeah.
name.
I do,
Oh, yeah.
I do as Sarah Sanderson.
Okay, well, you know.
Alright.
Paula, do you want to do
Yeah.
Mary?
I mean, sure, why not?
All right.
Okay,
I just
a
watched that movie
cosplay
like
group
last
was
year
just
for the
formed.
first time.
This is how this kind of stuff happens. You literally are just talking
It's
to
one
your
thing.
friends, like, oh, I want to do that.
Well, like,
Oh, I could do this with you, and then you're a whole cosplay group.
do you, let me ask the panel this question. Do you, whenever you're cosplaying and you're doing something and you want to cover up a mistake or do something that you alter? So for my Winifred, the cloak, her cloak that she wears is short. It's supposed to like start very short and then it tapers downward. The under part is not like how she has it in the movie. I just basically made the front look like it is.
Yeah.
And because the cloak covers majority of everything, well, the bottom part, I didn't want someone to see something on the lower half of like the dress, so the cloak went all the way down to my feet. Plus, it makes for better like,
Better job.
drama. But do you guys, have you ever done that where you're like, I don't like this. Oh, we can cover it with
Oh, well,
this.
Oh, 100%.
For me, when we went to see the Harry Potter concert last year, that I went as like student Luna Lovegood, I didn't have a collared shirt, so I wore a long sleeve white shirt, and I cut Hansel's shirt.
I've done that before.
Because it wouldn't fit me anyway, and I just left the collar. So
Yeah.
the collar was under the
I've done
vest.
that where I didn't want to be hot with 2 layers.
Mine, it was
Yeah.
Hansel's shirt didn't fit me, so I was like, how much do you need this shirt? And he's like, I don't think I need it, and I was like,
So fun.com one time sent me some stuff that I guess the content wasn't good because they only sent it to me one time. But the shirt for the it was Pulp Fiction. did not fit. So we literally were like, okay, I just have to get pictures in this. So we just cut it up the back, and it was just the front, and so you didn't see it.
All right, another question? I think you had a question,
I
right?
say one resource thing?
You were like,
yes,
no.
question. When he said he had an old lady teach him how to sew,
Yeah.
almost every community college has a sewing class. So
okay.
check your community college.
The libraries too, like
libraries.
Some libraries bigger.
So your community
Joanne
college is
sometimes
a
My,
good place.
my mom is a seamstress and I can't sew.
Or your
And I'll
friends.
never be able to
Yeah.
sew as good
But
as
if you're
her.
gonna take like an
So,
actual class, I think I paid $75 for like 6 classes at my community college.
So you're saying that the drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race have no excuse after season 15 to
1,000%, yeah.
be able to
Like
learn how to sew?
I have a list of
Yes,
I have a list of friends who all have sewing machines they don't know how to use. I'm like, just come to my house.
yes,
I have one too.
yes.
My mom lives across the street.
Okay, do we have another question? Yes.
You mentioned props. What's the most challenging prop you've ever made?
The question was, what is the most challenging prop you've ever had to make?
That's a good question. I would say maybe the Hocus Pocus book. I just took like one of those empty books because also whenever I make props, I don't like to have things in my pockets when I'm cosplaying.
Functional props are the best.
Yeah.
Always add
so-
pockets to your cosplay.
Yeah.
Or a prop that
And-
functions as a purse.
So I've done multiple times so I've done the Hocus Pocus book. I've done, I don't think, I guess a fetish for books. The Mummy, the Book of the Dead book.
That tracks.
And and then we did the Atlantis book. So my boyfriend and I was Milo Thatch, and he was Kina, is that her name?
Yes.
Kita, okay. So he did that, which that was also like a struggle for him to be accepting of his own body because Disney Animation likes to make their women very
Tiny.
and everything.
Unrealistic waist.
Well, and then also she's wearing barely nothing in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other panel for another time.
Also another con.
She
yeah.
also had curves, though. We had that benefit with her.
Yeah, so anyway, with those books, a lot of times I either make them out of craft foam, and one of my favorite things to use to seal anything is wood glue.
Mm-hmm.
Wood glue works so great because it will make a soft item stiff. So, also another panel.
Oh my.
But anyway, so a lot of those craft foams, so I did it for like the Mummy, and it also, any type of glue that you put on a foam, it will make kind of like it fill in all those fine pores that are in foam, and it'll make painting on it so much easier. So, but yeah, we made the Book of Atlantis so that it allows me to hide my phone inside of there and anything else. So then anytime that we're like opening things up, it's kind of cool, it goes to the character, but also it's like type, and then you put all the spare stuff in it and you have it in there. So I love a usable prop. But I would say probably the Hocus Pocus book because I had to do clay to make the finger indentations, and then I took pleather and like stretched it, and then I took like super glue. And why I said that it's difficult to do it because super glue sticks to skin and everything. So I would like paint, and then stretch the leather, hold it, and then all the stitching I just cut jute string yarn to make all the stitching. But of course that's stuck on by hot super glue. So it's like okay. And at the end I had like calluses, like overhead things.
But they're fun.
I strongly believe that there are a few things that E6000 and rhinestones can't fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so that I would say that's the toughest part.
Any other questions?
Well, does anyone else have any difficult props? I know
Anyone in the audience that has
we don't really
difficult
do
props that
too
they're wearing right
much.
now?
I don't do very big props. One of my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Our Oregon head in the front row that was clearly difficult.
The
Yeah,
spikes are magnetic.
I would say my
so she
favorite
can
prop
pack
is
it
actually
without
simple.
the spikes.
Yeah, they're
Genius.
so cool.
Because that's the
Genius.
difficult part is the packing is the spikes,
Is
right?
the spikes, yeah.
I mean, they would have
I
gotten all
mean, so
patchy.
big. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What are the spikes made out of?
Sculpey clay.
Okay,
Sculpting clay.
that was always never like don't go crazy on spending expensive products because there's always a cheaper product
Yeah.
out there. So when my boyfriend made the Audrey 2 puppet, he made the head out of a styrofoam wig head.
Oh.
and you turn it sideways, cut it in half, and everything like that. But then he made the lips, and there's like expensive sculpting clay on Amazon and stuff. He went and bought the Crayola air dry clay.
Yep, the kids' clay.
And
It's
it
the
worked.
same thing.
It was foamy. It worked fine. Within 24 hours, he was painting on it. He sealed it with the wood glue because it kind of like seals it in, and it fills in all those holes and everything, and it worked.
Amazing.
I would say my favorite prop was probably the least difficult prop I ever did, and I did a Dairy Queen costume, and
I love that one.
Dairy
bought-
Queen, like
yeah,
the ice cream,
yeah.
or Dairy Queen from the Amazon.
Dairy Queen, like the ice cream store. But I wanted a scepter, so I got a red kitchen spoon and I rhinestoned the whole thing. And I just walked around waving and booping people with my rhinestoned kitchen spoon. And it's my favorite prop, and it is stupid, and it was easy, and I love it. It's great.
I don't usually do props because I
Yeah,
hate
same.
carrying things. I hate it. I will say my prop adjacent is my Sunday has wings. My Sunday cosplay, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it has wings. And
That's a clue, guys.
She's dressed
That's
as
a
the
clue.
Red Bull. She's branding and has wings.
once I figured out how to do it, it worked, but it was like a lot of trial and error and Googling and Pinterest. People forget Pinterest exists, but it is great for finding tutorials on things. Not great for like finding clothes and items you need because they're always out of stock and we're ages old, but for finding tutorials and how to do things and like looks and inspiration, Pinterest is great.
Yes, I will also say YouTube is a cosplayer's best friend. If, like, I didn't know how to change a foot on my sewing machine, I Googled my model and a video of how to change that
Yep.
foot came up. You can Google your actual pattern number, and most of the time you'll find a video of someone sewing that entire pattern, so you can watch them do step by step, and it is incredibly helpful if you're reading the pattern and be like, I don't understand what they're trying to tell me right here, and just watch a
There was
YouTube video.
Something I saw at on the TikTok. It was at some convention somewhere, and none of us probably here can afford it. If you can, buy me one. It's a really cool. It's like the projection mapping that they use in a lot of theme parks. And it's a projection mapping on a table
To do your pattern.
that does your pattern, and you put your sizes in, and then you lay it out, and the projection mapping will tell you where to cut. I was like, oh my god, no more needing like that tissue paper pattern, stuff that never lays flat and never works that
Or
well.
as a plus sizer, having to try to figure out where to add 5 inches
Yeah.
to a pattern, and the math is
So cool.
hard.
Yeah.
The math is
hard.
very
And it almost never
So maybe
matters.
one day it'll be
Yeah.
affordable.
So, any other questions from the audience? So let's get wrapped up so people have time to get to their next location. Tom?
Not a question, but thank you for helping push people
Yeah.
AKA Thomas never cosplayed before.
Tom has never cosplayed before, but check him out over
We need
here.
him to wear the outfit he has on right now.
Yes, and he looks
And he looks
amazing.
incredible.
The people that are waiting for the pin panel can come in.
Yeah.
We don't bite.
No bite.
The next panel in here is pin trading, so stay. There are a lot of fun people in there.
I would be staying, but I have to go meet Sean Astin.
Zach, why don't you do your socials and your panel?
So my socials are Gaze of Universal, just all one word. And then my personal social is Walt's Apprentice. So that's where you can find all the lovely pictures and other extra cosplay stuff with me and my boyfriend and other fun things. But my panel will be tomorrow, and it's called Gaze of Universal presents LGBT plus fans and where to find them.
Yay!
So it'll be very much a focus of how the LGBT plus community is not typically always represented in fandoms, and how does the fandom make us feel as one big community and accepted and welcomed. Miss Paula?
Alright, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch.
She's a gamer.
Unconceivable, I'm a gamer now. Also, I am the co-host of Creating Magic Podcast. And I have a meetup tomorrow called Bienvenidos a la Magia. It is
Party?
it is anybody can come, but it's mainly for fans that are Latin or Hispanic, but we
She will
accept-
cry at it.
I will cry. I mean, I cry
happened
all the
last
time,
year.
guys. Seriously,
I'm
I
really surprised you
cry.
only cried once in this panel.
Well, I cried yesterday for 2 random kids I don't even know.
We were at Magic at Play and these 2 kids were like,
Walking
came
into
through the
the
door.
main hall and their eyes. I
in
was
their
like,
eyes, and she just turns crying.
I don't even know them.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, crying's my thing. I collect tears.
You need to do a cosplay of Moaning Myrtle then.
Right? That's that's her thing. I've seen
That
people
is.
like that are Moaning Myrtle that carry like the toilet.
I can't do
around.
that.
You're next to
That is dedication.
Dedication, for sure.
Also, look at this cat plate and this mandrake over here.
I know.
Yeah.
The
Work
cat
it.
plate, I love
wish I
it
was
so
next to
much.
Sunburn right now so I could take a picture with
I'm
this
gonna
cat,
take a
please.
picture with him anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, don't be
I
taking it
love
off. We're gonna
it.
take a picture of you later on.
And then I am creating Magic Podcast and Mandrakes and Mischief on Instagram. And then we also have a Pottergram meetup tomorrow at 11:15.
I forgot about that one too.
I figured you were letting me say it.
Oh,
And then for
yeah,
some
I
reason I didn't put it on here. Today at 3:45, we will be doing a podcast panel. It's called Can You Hear Me Now? And we're going to answer all the questions for people that want to start a podcast, join a podcast, or just hang out with us. And
And I'm Hannah W. Cosplay on Instagram and TikTok, although I don't really post there very often. And yeah, I'm just here all weekend. Say hi. I would love to take pictures, trade ribbons.
yeah, we have
all the
ribbons, so
things.
come find us. Also,
Yes.
thank you guys all for coming.
Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much
you.
for
We walked
coming.
into this room and it was so big. It was very
No,
intimidating.
thank you for coming and sitting through our rambles.
Even
and-
though the welcome was at the same time, so
Yes.
thank you.
Thank
We
you.
Thank you for
appreciate
choosing
that.
us.
Thank you for flying with us.
And we're done.
We're done. Wait, I have to run to shop.
You go run.